What's up, CroatianSports.com nation? Ante here with the crew. Wish we were here under better circumstances, but that was a gut-wrenching 2-2 roller coaster draw against Albania today. I got the boys here, going to go across the room, introduce everyone, and then we're going to get into the good, the bad, the ugly from the Albania draw. Here with Pete Novakovic, coach, we call him around these parts. Pete's a FIFA licensed agent. He was the men and women's coach at D1 LMU back in the 90s. He's well strung into the MLS here in the United States of America. Pete, welcome to the Albania post-game show.
I'm glad you guys have me today.
In one word, how you feeling after that draw?
One word. Ghosted.
All right, we have a lot to talk about. Well, welcome back, Pete. Welcome back, Coach. And then many of you know him, Mr. Ante Zorić, huge Croatian presence on Twitter. And I'm still calling you the top 2 Croatian jersey collector on planet Earth. I mean, hey, I'm still waiting for my Denmark. Where's Denmark?
I got it for you, buddy. I just haven't seen you.
All right,
Modric, I got you a nice Modric shirt, and next post game or pre game, I want to see you wearing it.
It's gonna happen. We'll meet up for a drink.
You know what? Actually, you know what? I'll pay for half of your shirt if we get out of the group, Ante Kvartic.
There you go.
I'll pay for your next shirt if we make it out of group. I'll raise.
Okay, that's a deal. That's a deal.
Zorić, one word after that final whistle today for you.
Just disappointed. That's it. Disappointed. We know we're the better team. We didn't come out like we're the better team. It was just a very, very poor showing first half. Too many experienced players with just nightmare games in the first half.
Yeah, we'll get into it. One word, Zorić. One word.
Sorry.
There's Luca. Luca's in. We're going 6. We got the Brady bunch here. Then we got Mr. Markus Lulic Deschanel, Pride of Montreal. Welcome back, Markus. Markus is Croatian Sports analytics guy. He's written over 75 articles with us. Markus, we've been chatting all day. I know you were at work when watching that game. How you feeling after that 2-2 draw?
Not good. It was those last 10 minutes felt like an hour.
Too long. But when you're down 1-0, you want it to go an extra 30 minutes. So you can't have it every single way. All right, Markus. Well, welcome back. This is gonna be a fun show. And last but not least, Mr. Christian Rasic. Christian's running our social media here on Croatian Sports and our Instagram. So if you see anything on Instagram, that's all Mr. Rasic over here. Christian, welcome back. What were your feelings today after that game?
Obviously gutted, but quite hungry. It's a knockout game we got ahead of us on Monday, and Croatians love knockout games.
You're Mr. Positive around here, so I can't wait to see what you have to say. But all right, guys, I'm gonna open it up with this. We played like absolute garbage today. It took us 75 minutes to score a goal against Albania at a major tournament, which was basically a must-win game. And you know what? In the 60th minute of that game, I was praying for a draw. I would have been happy for a draw because I didn't want us to have our tournament over after 2 games. Pete, I'm going to start with you. I mean, what are your initial thoughts on this game and who's to blame, number one?
Well, I don't like the blame game. You know what? Soccer's a team sport, so I blame the whole team. And when I say the whole team, I mean from the coaching staff, assistant coaches, anybody who was on the field. I blame everybody. So the blame game gets spread across everyone. There's not one single person I'm gonna single out and say, you know what, it's your fault. This Euro might end early on us. Here's the thing: you have to have the mental fortitude. I think we have the athletic ability, and we have the wisdom and know-how because we've played in a lot of big games in the last 6 years. Everybody, we've played in a lot of big games. So it's not for lack of experience. People always talk about a team, you know what? They've never been in this before. They've never been in this situation. They've never been in an NBA final, NHL Stanley Cup final. But you know what? We're built for this. We've been to finals. Now, unfortunately, we've not come out on top, but we've been there. So today, what was, I guess, frustrating, and Christian, to your getting gutted. I mean, we get back into a game, we get ahead in the game, and then you just have to keep playing the game. You can't let up. You can't pull up the stirrups. You can't pull the horses back. You got to keep playing. And if that means playing a little bit more defense when you're up 2-1, you play a little bit more defense. If you want to attack because you want to get some goals and figure out the goal differential, you have to have a plan for that. Hey guys, if we go up 2-1, guess what? We're doing this. We're going to leave one guy up on the counter. We're going to drop 2 more midfielders, and we're going to defend. We're going to get the 3 points. If we get an extra goal, that's gravy. But to give up a goal and go from 3 points to 1 is a failure. That's a fail on the team's part. And again, when I say team's part, I'm talking about everybody: coaching staff, players who came in, players. It's a fail. There wasn't communication on how to play this game if we got in the lead.
But who's
There was
that on?
no plan. There was no plan.
Who's that on? Who's the communication part on?
Well, coaching staff.
So I want to ask everyone this. I would have had the same reaction if we would have held a 2-1 lead. Would the mood be different today? Because I almost burned down the website today. I almost did it. That's how bad I felt. Like I need a cardiologist every time we play in a game, because it's literally bad for my health. It's literally bad for my health. I'm like, my heart's pounding.
Well,
We scored 2 goals, and then it's like, what the hell? I would have said the same thing. We're not playing the right tactics.
yeah, but the mood would absolutely be different, because you'd have 3 points, and then maybe 1 point against Italy is enough, and that's a totally different scenario. So a win's a win. Even when you have a bad day, if you can find a win, it's a good day.
Yes.
Mr. Dalić, up till now, we haven't played the best soccer. And a lot of people criticize him for the style that we play, because we know we have good footballers and we don't play an attractive style, but he's always had the results. So now we're playing shit style and we're not getting results. So now we have to say, what's going on? Because Brozovic was atrocious the first game. I mean, him and Modric, both bad, but Modric is still at Real Madrid. This guy went off to Saudi Arabia. It should have been an easy decision to drop him today. It should have been easy, but that's what Dalić does. He comes to these guys, these veterans, says, listen, I know you can do it. I know I believe in you. And Broz failed. He failed 2 games in a row. There's no way he should be out on that pitch the next game. We need Zorić from the first minute. We need Budimir from the first minute. And that's going to make a difference against Italy.
Look, Markus put out a great squad before the Albania game, and I was shocked when I saw Broz in the lineup today for Albania. I was shocked. Markus, when you saw that today, I mean, all of us are texting all day long. You're going, what the hell is he doing? Before the whistle even started. So Markus, what you watched the game? I mean, what's your thoughts on Broz? I know what mine are, but how'd you feel when you saw him in the starting lineup today?
Well, I think first of all, I think Dalić kind of gave in. Like P was saying last time after the Spain game, there's a reason Modric and Kovacic were subbed out at like the 56th minute, and Broz played the whole game. I think his initial plan was something needs to change here. We need we need an attacking midfielder on, and I think that's what he was planning to do. But I think he's just a bit too much of a pushover. Like Dalić has his pros and he has his cons, and one of his cons is he tends to stick to certain players a little bit too long. Lovren Vida, we saw that there. Although Lovren was pretty decent at the last World Cup, Vida he definitely stretched out too long, and that's what he's doing with Brozovic now. So I'm going to be honest. It seems outrageous to be playing Brozovic next game, but I think there's like a 50% chance. I wouldn't put it past Dalić to start Brozovic again next game. Just clean slate. Oh, it'll be better next time. That's what we said though for this game. Like Christian, me and you last time on the last pod, we were saying like, oh, there's like a less than 10% chance Brozovic starts. I think now it would be outrageous to start him. That would genuinely be like a big mistake. I think he tried to maybe give him a second chance. Could we argue that was too much? Yeah. I don't know. But from the game I saw today, there's no need for him anymore. Like we were shaky on defense. We'll get to that. But we have 2 ball-playing defenders. Whether or not they played defensively well today, they can handle the ball. We don't need a CDM anymore. We just don't. He's not adding structure to the defense. We had Lovren Vida. I understand it. Right now, I don't understand it anymore. Our center backs can do his role, and he's not providing anything in offense. And to be honest, he looks clumsy out there. He's He's just flapping his arms around. He's losing balls and he's
You
getting
see
knocked
that?
off
He's
balance.
the
He's slow.
Brozovic used to be able to shoot the ball. Did you see that one chance he had in the first half on the right? I mean, he
Yeah.
looked like you said,
He
off
just kind of whiffed it.
horrible shot. I'm just like, this is not the same Brozovic.
No.
You know?
And
I just-
look, like a guy like Sucic that came in. So Sucic was there last World Cup, didn't play a single minute. He was there the whole first game, didn't play a single minute. This guy can't fucking wait to get on the pitch. He can't
he's
wait.
hungry.
And the
He's
moment his
hungry.
opportunity comes, he's there. I think I saw maybe 2 back passes and 2 side passes from Sucic. Everything was forward. Maybe he lost it a little bit. I don't know what the stats are, but that's fine. I don't care. Just get through. He was ripping them. He wasn't scared. Like, he was taking his chances. And, well, he basically scored. Like, it was an own goal, but it was because of him.
Yeah.
You have to start him. And I think we have to start him. We'll get into this as well. I think we have to start him on the right because we'll get into Maya, but Maya can't be on the wing.
I didn't see him playing a good game today, Maya.
Nope.
I mean, he had that one cross. He had one cross to Petko where Petko did, I don't know what he was doing. Like, he can't flick a ball towards the goal. I have no idea. But that was the only thing that I remember of Maya the whole first half.
I feel like I jinxed everyone. I put Budimir or bust a couple months ago. No service, doesn't matter. Maya comes in hot to Euro, nishta. So this is my thing. Look, I have been put on the cross on the good old internet the past couple months because I've been saying we need to stop with the trident. We don't need 3 center midfielders when we're playing with no real wingers on the side and an okay striker. We have 0 offense. You know what we're playing? I've been calling it possession ball for the past couple months. It's just recycle. We recycle up, recycle to the wing, kick it back, recycle. All we're doing is recycling. And you know what?
Yep.
Spain knew what we were going to do. And you know what? Albania knew exactly what we were going to do. And guess what? If you score first against us, we're screwed. And now we're on the back foot. And we played right into their strategy today. And there you go.
And I'm looking at it, looking back at the game, knowing the result, knowing what happened. Maybe I would have felt differently before, but I feel like going into this game, the coaching staff was preparing to play timid football. And that's something that when you're going in a game against Albania, that's just something you can't do. And it shows a lot about the confidence of the squad, the confidence of the coaching staff, but also making those subs at halftime, bringing in Luka Sucic for Marcelo Brozovic, like a Vatreni legend. That also says a lot about confidence. And Dalić needs to find that in between. And I feel like finding that in between at halftime, it's simply not good enough. And it showed today. I mean, the second half, we play like that the first half, we probably come away with the 4-1, 5-2 victory where we just pound the net. But at the end of the day, it was too little. It was too late. And I think the one thing that we can take from this game is Luka Sucic has to be on the field from kickoff.
Yeah.
Marcelo Brozovic cannot be on the field at kickoff. And no disrespect to him. He's maybe in my top 3 favorite Croatian players of all time. But, all good things to come to an end. And that applies to football. And it's Luka Sucic time. I mean, he showed it today. But we got to stop playing timid football, especially against Italy. We have nothing to lose. It's 3 points or bust. Knockout game.
Yeah. We're now in the same position as we were in last Euro. Last match, a loss, a draw, and then we needed to beat Scotland in Scotland 2021, Euro 2020. And we're gonna have to do the same thing, but we're gonna have to do it against the reigning European champions. But I was listening to FS1 to Fox today, and Chiellini, who was on that Euro 2020 championship squad, said this about Croatia. And the guy just came out of the game. He goes, defensive to mid, Croatia's great. They move the ball nicely up the field, and then they have nowhere to go once they get into the final third. He made that obvious on live television in America.
Right.
Live television.
I don't know. We have a big issue. We have a big issue because Krama is our best finisher, but the problem is he's not a left winger. That's the problem. And he's not a winger, and Maya is not a winger. Those are your danger areas. That's where you need guys to take risks and go one-on-one and try to make something happen, and we have nobody doing that. That's the problem.
But in the second half, we did start doing that. When Sucic came in and Budimir came in, they were going at guys in the box, which we didn't do the entire first half. The first half, Brozovic was shooting balls from 40 yards away, and we were crossing like Hail Marys into the box, hoping somebody would somehow, with one striker, somebody's going to get a head on it and flick into the goal. And in the first half was absolutely, I mean, I couldn't believe what I was watching in the first half. It was that bad. I mean, it was.
We were passing the ball to
we had
Albania
no
the whole
offense.
I think it might have been worse than the Spain first half.
I think this first half was worse than the Spain game.
Yeah,
I think it was worse. But
Well,
we put the game on its head in the second half. We brought some younger guys in. Listen, Zorić made a run, and Markus, you're absolutely right. He kept going forward, and that's what we needed to do. We needed to get forward, and we needed to get forward with pace and with speed. The difference between soccer player A and soccer player B is soccer player A, if he can perform a skill in a short period of time and be successful at it time over time, he's a better player than B, who it takes longer to. Listen, at 35, 36, 37, 38, Luka Modric is going to go down in Croatian folklore for the next 100 years. Our children's children will be talking about Luka Modric. No disrespect to Brozovic, Christian. They'll be talking about Brozovic too. But guys, you know what? Listen, my son Luka's 10. He knows about Dover Shukar from books and cartoons and from YouTube and whatever he's seen, right? So these guys will have their moment of glory and history in Croatian soccer. Sometimes it's about not being on the field and making a better choice by not being on the field. I think to your, Markus, to your point, and I'll stop right after this, gentlemen. So Markus, to your point, I think Dalić does this with a lineup. I liked your lineup. I saw your lineup. Ante shared it with all of us. I like an Ante Zorić. I like Budimir. I think he's dangerous. I think Zorić and Budimir need to be in there from the start. But here's the thing. I think Dalić came into a Croatian team that was run by that midfield, right? So when he does a lineup, I literally think he goes to those key guys and says, hey, listen, you know what? Can you perform for me today? I think he goes and asks them. Now, what do you think a soccer player is going to say? A one-legged soccer player is going to say, yeah, I want to play in the Euros. But you're the coach. You have to make that decision. And that's where I think Dalić might be a little bit weak. I think Dalić gets influenced by the older players, by the veteran players, and he's not making good soccer decisions.
Pete, you alluded to something I was going to bring up, and this was huge. I got this text immediately after the game, and I might get this jumbled up because I wasn't watching it. It was on national television. I think it was on RTL or on HRT here in Croatia. Immediately after the game, this is what Tomislav Ivkovic said. He's a former manager and player. He said this on national Croatian television after the 2-2 draw to Albania today. He goes, Dalić is too fatherly with old players because he feels he's indebted to them for the past glory he has brought them. He has a hard time betraying them and leaving them on the bench for the younger guys. He said that on national television, and everyone went nail on the head. And that's the problem. How big of a problem is that, and is that the truth? Zorić?
That's pretty funny because I heard that same coach was offered the national team job before Dalić. So it's just kind of funny hearing him make that quote after everything that Dalić has done. Listen, Dalić picks, in his opinion, the best team. He thought Brozovic, okay, he had a bad game. He's going to come through in the second game. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. And, you know, if he did come out and play well today and we won, nobody would question it. Broz would start the third game. But now I think Broz has lost his position. That's my opinion.
Zorić, I would question it.
The question is, how poor was Modric? I thought Modric was poor as well.
Yeah.
Do you save Modric for the last 30 minutes like Ancelotti was? Do you start a midfield of Kova, let's say Mario Pasalic and Zorić against Italy? Do you think that Dalić could do something that extreme? I don't know.
No,
It's
you
just
can't.
the problem.
In Modric's last Euro, sorry, Christian. You're in Modric's last Euro, that'll never happen. Sorry, Christian. Go ahead.
Listen, if Dalić has balls and he wants to beat Italy, it's something that may have to happen because Modric has not shown to me this Euro that he can compete with the best. He hasn't shown me.
The problem,
he's not the Modric.
and the reason why I think Dalić will never go to that is because if you start Zorić, Pasalic, Kramaric, Meyer on the field at the same time, plus a Kovac.
I didn't say anything about Meyer. We're not starting
Okay.
Meyer. Yeah. No.
But given the situation, given the idea that Meyer will likely start the next game because that's just how Dalić is, he played good.
I don't think he will. I thought he was poor today. I don't think he's going to start next game. I don't think he will.
And I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind seeing Zorić on the right, Kramaric down the middle, maybe Perisic on the left. But our problem is, and what I was going to get to, and nothing against what you were saying, nothing against the lineup or anything. Our problem is we have too many attacking midfielders. Too many attacking midfielders that can't make a difference anywhere else but down the middle. I mean, Kramaric, he's dangerous in the box, but still, it's the middle of the field. It's not the wing. He's not beating anyone down the line. You have Pasalic. I mean, he's a great finisher. He can get his head on the ball. He's not beating anyone down the line. You have Zorić. That's someone who needs to be in the middle. Someone who's tall, lanky, can dribble, can shoot, has a left foot cannon. That's our problem. We have too many cams. We don't have enough good wingers.
Well,
Perisic is old. You can't blame him for not being able to beat these guys anymore. I mean, he just came off an ACL surgery and played, what, 3 games for Hajduk? I mean, we can't have...
Listen, we have 2 wingers on the bench, or 3 that we haven't tried. Ivanušić, we haven't tried Piazza, and we haven't tried Marko Pasalic. That's
and the
3
problem
guys.
with Ivanušić is that's another cam right there. He's a natural cam. I mean, it's another player that you're pretty much forcing to play on the wing. And Marko Pasalic and Piazza, they play for Rijeka. I mean, that's the issue.
But I mean, I think Ivanušić has been playing on the wing for a while now. He's not a traditional. He's been playing on the wing in Holland.
I think he's better on the wing than some of the other attacking midfielders like Kramaric and stuff. But definitely he's more comfortable in the middle. But he's not starting in the middle. There's too much competition. Like if Ivanušić plays on the left,
the only chance to be at the left wing. That's it.
Hey guys, you know what? Speaking of players who came in, and we haven't mentioned the name yet, and he's not an international player. I mean, in the fact that he's not playing out of the domestic league. But I actually thought, and I'll defer this to the younger guys and Markus and Christian and Ante. You know a lot about the younger Croatian players. But I thought Baturina played really well. I thought he gave us some energy and some pop on that when he came in the field. I thought he was fighting hard. I thought he ran hard. When he got the ball, he kept possession. He was moving the ball up the field. I actually liked him coming in a lot. I thought he brought a lot to coming into the game with Zorić.
Yes.
He did.
My only issue, and look, and Markus and Christian have followed Baturina and Zorić and Gvardiol for the past 5 years. Like, they're all over these guys, and they're going to shut the light on Baturina right now. I didn't like the sub because he came in the 85th minute late. At that point, just put in Stanisic for extra added defense. Bunker for 5, 6, 7 minutes. You don't need a Baturina. We're not chasing a goal. Bunker, close the game out 2-1, game over.
I think Baturina played well, but it wasn't a great sub. But so here's my thought process after watching Zorić and Baturina today, is that so our issue, right, is that we have 7 attacking midfielders and no wingers that are, according to what we've seen from Dalić, in contention to start. But the difference is a Kramaric has played in the same position for so long. He's 33 today. He's been playing this secondary striker role all the time, that we need to make our decision on who's going to play behind the striker, Budimir. Very hopefully, I hope it's Budimir, but we need to figure out who's going to play behind him, and that's going to be Kramaric or Pasalic, and I can't really see anybody else slotting in there. And then on the wings, our issue is you can't start these guys there. They've never played there. I don't mind Mario Pasalic to close out the game, but to start on a wing, it's not going to work. The only people I can see starting on
Mario
those wings,
Pasalic starting as the box to box next to Kova. Yeah, and then having Zorić in front behind the forward.
My thing on Zorić and Baturina is I think if we're gonna have any attacking midfielders on wing, it has to be one of those two, because they're maybe not the quickest, they're not classical wingers, but they're willing to run. They have the age to run, and they have the flexibility because they're young players that they haven't necessarily gotten accustomed to a set role yet in their career. They're not as hard-headed as the other guys. In I'm a central player, I'm comfortable there, I don't want to play on the wing. They don't mind. They just want to play for the national team. And we saw that with both of them. Baturina played 10 minutes, and this guy was running. I've never seen him run that fast. He's not necessarily he's maybe Kovacic type speed. So quick, but nothing fast.
Yeah.
And he was beating people down the line. Zorić too. I don't think we should start both. I think that's a bit excessive for an Italy game, but I want Zorić on the right, because I think he's going to be more dynamic there than Maed. He's going to come in a little bit too much for a winger, but we don't have any other option. And Baturina off the bench for that left wing role, I really don't mind. I just think if we're going to slot anyone on those wings, it's got to be the young guy.
You could push Perisic forward on the left and put Karama right, and have Zorić in the middle. Yeah,
that's exactly what I was going to say. I think
that's my ideal.
I think that you go with that lineup. I think I said a similar little idea in the last podcast. I think that you force balls down the left to Perisic, let him play down the wing, and have everything come in from the left so that Kramaric can shift central. If the ball pops to the top of the box, Kramaric is there, Zorić is there, Budimir is there. But the problem is with our wingers is, I was watching the first half. Can you guys name me one time that one of our players tried to take someone on in the first half?
Nobody.
And that's our problem. And then you put in Zorić. Look, he's taking people on 5 times in the first 10 minutes. He has a shot. I mean, he could have netted a goal in his first 4 minutes on the pitch.
Yeah.
Imagine how crazy we would have went. And that's our issue. We don't have anyone who could take anyone on.
But
And
that's
that's why I'm a big fan of Marko Pasalic. When he's come on as a sub for Croatia, he beats people. He's got that explosiveness, that energy that we're lacking on the wings.
look,
I
guys.
think we need to see him off the right.
We haven't seen him.
We
Unfortunately.
need to. I don't understand that. Like, I don't get it. Give him 20 minutes at the end of the game.
Yeah.
What's it gonna hurt? Like,
I
it's
agree.
fresh legs that are willing to attack. Like
And like you said,
in the
another
first half,
hungry
he wouldn't have
player.
sat around.
Yeah, he's another hungry player. Same.
Yeah.
Not only that,
you
he's
know,
born in
it's fun-
Germany. You know, he's born in Germany. He's motivated. He's hungry.
Correct.
Let him
Correct.
play.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know what? Pasalic, Marko Pasalic, you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me, just think about this for a second, guys. I don't think I'm stretching it too far. He's a very busy player. He reminds me almost like an Olic. He'll chase guys. He'll
Yeah.
run guys down. He'll put high pressure on people.
He's
He'll
a
work the
worker.
wings, and he'll go at people. And so he reminds me almost like an Ivica Olic.
Yeah, and he's got the
But
hair.
he's skilled too. Like,
Yeah.
he's got, like, the thing I like about it is that, like you're saying, you put him in for 20 minutes, he's putting in a shift, whether he does well or not.
Absolutely. He's
trying.
working the whole
But he
20
has
minutes.
a toolkit too. He might actually dribble past 3 guys, whereas Olic, maybe not. But Marko Pasalic would. Like, he has that ability to. So it's like, I just don't understand.
He also
like some of these
has
substitutions.
a much greater work rate than a guy like Maya. You know, today having Maya and Petko up, this is horrible for pressing. I mean, just really, really bad. You know,
Guys,
These guys that
Meyer and
don't work
Petko
very
are
hard.
Operation Quicksand.
Just I don't know. I don't know what Dalić was thinking, but we'll see. I hope he can fix it, and I hope we can have our best performance against Italy. That's all we can hope for.
I thought it would be a given that Petko's coming off the bench in a game where we need goals. I mean, you think of all of his goals for the national team. All
Yeah,
the
they've
goals
been
that
off the
we're gonna
bench.
remember, they're all off the bench. They're all
Yeah,
late in the
you're right.
game when we need him the most. And same thing with Dinamo too. How many times has he scored for Dinamo late in the game?
We're lucky. Listen, Budimir came off the bench and had 2 assists. So we're lucky that they switched roles and it worked. You know.
Guys, look, there's a mentality around this team since 2018. Well, actually in 2018. What is the deal that we start the game so flat-footed, like we're playing chess, like we're walking our dogs in the park? Why do we not start playing our game until we have to get scored on? Like, we're down. I'm like, let's just get scored on the first 10 minutes. I swear to God, I think like this. Let's get scored on the first 10 minutes just so we can start playing. Look, at halftime at this Euro, we're down 4-0 at halftime. That's tough to come back because you have to change your whole structure around. That's why I say we play too slow. We play with no speed. We need guys on there, whoever it is. I'm just trying to put together the best 11 for us. But I've been saying this for a while. Put Kova in the 6. If you're going to play a 6, Dalić, put Kova there. Put Kova. You don't need a Broz. You don't need a CDM anymore. And that'll open up a Maya at a 10 or a Sucic at a 10 or open up a winger spot. That's what we need. And I don't understand what the problem is.
I don't know. I think, honestly, it's a lot of his Dalic's personality. I think he's very reserved. You know, like I used to hear these stories about Chito Blažević, how he used to come into the locker room and he used to jump on the table and start stomping I mean, he would psychologically motivate these guys. These guys would fly. These guys would fly for him. And so Dalic's approach is very careful, very cautious, very reserved. And it always cost us to get scored on first. And then, okay, let's go play now. Why can't we take control early? Why can't we go and score one? Why can't we score? That's what the big teams do. That's what Germany does. You know, I mean, we haven't seen the best Germany in the past few years, but
no, but you know what, Zorić?
The big teams, especially against the little teams like Albania, they know how to beat them. You know, and today we just look lost.
We look lost. Well, this is what I want to go around the room because this is a question that I'm very careful to say publicly. I feel like watching all these Croatian results since 2018. I don't know if you guys remember the movie Sixth Sense, where when you watch it the second time, you're like, holy shit, it was so obvious the first time around. We have been an incredibly lucky team. Yeah, 3 medals. We've been very lucky. And this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about penalty kick shootout Denmark, penalty kick shootout Russia. Penalty kicks are a toss-up. I don't care. It's 50-50. There's no way it leans one way or another. Japan shootout, Brazil shootout. Petkovic, Brazil, a weird deflection.
Yeah.
Lukaku in the last group stage of 2022 World Cup scored a hat trick. That was lucky. We have been so lucky. And I want to ask all of you this. I want to give everyone your time. Has Dalic's magic rabbit's foot, has it ran out of juice?
I don't think we know until after next game. I mean, my buddy, shout out Banter FC Chicago boys, always talking all day long. One of my buddies told me, like, come on, why are you so optimistic? Be realistic. I'm like, dude, we're Croatian fans. Why be realistic? Nothing that's happened since 2018 is realistic at all. You look at the team on paper. I mean, yeah, I know we play like a club team. We know how to win, but nothing's been realistic. Like, that's just how it is. And so that's why I have high hopes, like I haven't been a Croatian fan for too long. I'm only 19 years old. So, I only really see like the success, like the glory. So I'm full steam ahead. I feel like we still have it in the bag against Italy, and that's something I'll get into in our pregame podcast ahead of Italy. I think we match up very well against them. I think that we just need a couple things to go well in that game, and I think we'll actually be okay. I was saying this before the tournament. I think that's our best matchup out of all the group stage games because Albania is a surprise. We don't play good against surprise teams. We know what we're going to get against Italy. I know exactly what they're going to give us. They show it time and time again. I don't think the magic's done. I think we have one more shot. I'm so excited for Monday's game.
And with that, I'm gonna go to Markus after this. But with that, we played like shit for 75 minutes today, and then we scored 2 goals in 3 minutes. And I'm going, oh my God, are we the luckiest team ever? And it happens again. Obviously, it crumbled at the end. But Markus, on the luck part, have we been a lucky team the past 7 years?
I think we have, but like the thing is, we're also hyper fixating on like our results and the way we've attained them. A lot of other teams that have had a lot of success have been super, and you can analyze all the luck they've had. Maybe not quite as much as us in some cases, but I think a team that's successful in football, like there's always luck. So I think like I don't think of it too much as like we're lucky to be in the position we're in. I think we've earned 95% of it.
Guys, 4 shootout wins. We have take the Nations League out of it.
Yeah.
4 shootout wins in a World Cup. Are you kidding me?
But how did we get there? We got there because we're unique as a national team. We have a core. We've had a core. We've had Kovacic, Brozovic, Modric, Perisic, Kramaric for years. We've had a core, and we've played around, and we've put ourselves in positions to win. I feel like.
I mean, I also think you have to give Livakovic a huge credit in all those penalties.
Oh, absolutely.
And Subasic. We've been lucky to have good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for 2018, but for me, Livakovic is a great shot stopper. That first goal today, I think he maybe could have come out and try to grab it or punch it or something. That. I mean,
he should have had that.
You see a lot of balls come within 5-6 yards of him, and he's staying on his line, and that's a big no-no for a keeper at that level. That's why he'll always be an incomplete keeper. He's very suspect off his line, and he's very reserved. And you get these top keepers. Top keeper goes out and sees that ball in the air, and it's either the ball's flying or he's getting in the way of that guy and he's not getting a clear header on there. So I think that was another very suspect. Our back line and our goalkeeper just very poor on that first goal.
That first goal by Albania, it was basically like Canada all over again. Remember that first 5 minutes of the game, and Davies comes in and just heads it home. And I'm like, It's okay. We're gonna wake up. We're gonna score 2, 3, 4 goals right here, no problem. Albania bunkered, and guess what? We've always been shit against the bunker.
Always had a hard time.
Yeah, we're lucky that Canada's coach made those players feel a little bit better than they actually were. So they ain't quite bunkered.
That's true. That is true. Hey, guys, let me close out the luck thing, Ante, if you don't mind. So everybody said it but didn't say it. You create your luck. So this Croatian team created all of its luck. You get lucky because you put yourself in a position to be lucky. Oh. You make it to a final. Okay, there's some luck there. You make it to a shootout. There's some luck there, but you win that. So you put yourself in a situation to be lucky. And I agree that all teams, if you analyze across all sports, there's always a percentage of luck. Always. That helps, put them over the top. So, yes, have we been lucky? But we deserve the luck because we worked hard for it and we created the luck. So I don't think there's anybody that should be ashamed about what we've done. We didn't cheat our way to championships and finals. We worked really hard.
Sure. And that's fair. Everything that you said is fair, but I'm saying four shootouts, the Lukaku, you lose a round of 16, you know, Petkovic doesn't score that goal, doesn't get deflected. You're not playing Argentina. It's obviously soccer is the greatest game on planet Earth of small margins because a goal means so much.
Right.
This is what I've been saying for the past year is how can we improve our statistics and our workload to score more goals, to control the game, score first. Because imagine if we're scoring first with our midfield, if you're going to play the trident, we're in good shape then. But we're not scoring first, and that's been my biggest issue with this team for the past couple of years.
Well, that's go ahead.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, I think it's just because, like, if you look at the last, like, since 2018, it's been the same structure. Like, Rakitic leaves, Kovacic plugs in the same exact role. Like, every hole we've left, Dalić has at least tried to replace. Like Rebic, so we still don't have a right winger that did Rebic 2018, you know, and that's what he's trying to find. So I just don't think he's tactically not flexible, and teams are figuring us out. That's why our luck is running out. Like Pete said, we create our own luck. We've created our luck with this same structure, with the same lineup, with these same tactics. It's been in these last 6 years such a good basis for our performances that we've created our luck through that, and that's these results that we've achieved. But now that teams are starting to catch on, we're starting to get older. Players there's too many holes. Back in 2018, there was like 2 holes, left back, right wing, and they had a good tournament, both of them, Strinic and Rebic. Now there's like 5, 6, 7 holes. There's holes everywhere. This is the time that you need to switch. I think this Italy game is gonna boom or bust. Like, I don't think it's luck whatsoever here. I think it's straight up how we line up. And if we line up with a 4-2-3-1, changing our tactics and trying something new, building ourselves a new identity, I think we have a decent. I think it increases our chances of moving on. There's still a chance we lose with that.
Well,
having Zorić out.
That's the frustrating thing is we know, you have good players on the bench that can improve the play. And when he decides not to play them, that's the frustrating part. Because if you don't have a bench, there's nothing you can do. This is the best we have, right? But you see a guy like Zorić come in and kill it, and you're like, why isn't this guy playing? Why? You know?
Yeah, well,
It's
Suchic's
like-
not our.
But that's the thing with the luck, is your luck runs out if you keep.
I don't know if you
trying the
guys
same thing
remember.
over
You
and
guys
over
might
and
be a
over.
little too young for 2002, but against Mexico, we had an absolute shit performance in 2002. Horrible. Like we were
They
garbage.
weren't born yet, man. They weren't even born.
So what Josic, the coach, did the second game is he brought in Rapaj, he brought in Olic, these guys that were young guns, hungry. Same thing like we're talking about now. They both scored. They both scored goals. We beat Italy. So it's time. You need to surprise the opponent. If you play the same players that you're going to play like that, you can prepare for that. But you can't prepare for a hungry 20-year-old in there that's going to fight like crazy. You know.
No, I 100%
That's
agree.
intangible.
100%.
Listen, you can't roll out the Portugal lineup and say, okay, guys, here's our game plan for the whole Euros, and you keep rolling out that
Doesn't
same
work like
lineup.
that.
I mean, it's not going to. You know what? You've given them your game plan. Then they all know it. It's
But
too
that's
easy.
the problem. Dalić publicly said, I have a plan. I'm going to stick to this plan. It was working before, so I deviate. But I think Zorić, I 100% agree with you. I think we need to go balls to the wall. We got to be ballsy this game. Why not throw in Zorić?
Take a
Why
risk.
not throw in Marko Pasalic? Why not? Like,
That's it. That's it.
What difference are we going to have from having Maier, who's out of position, still a great player, but out of position, and Marko Pasalic, who's hungry, in the right position? How long has it been since we have a right winger? I mean, Markus, I know you play FIFA. Croatia never has a right winger in Ultimate Team. Just with Davor Lovren.
The last one, I mean, you got to give Rebic credit. He did a good job in 2000.
Rebic did a great job.
Yeah, no. No, but
Without Rebic, we don't make it to the final in
he's in the
2000.
Before that, I'm thinking Mario Stanic was our right mid that actually did something, right?
You're not gonna put Sidorna on there, even though he
That's
plays
right back. I
Right
mean,
back,
that's
right back.
He's right back.
He played a little right wing time to time with the
Well, he
captain.
overlapped as a
He was
right
always
winger, but he
pushing
played right
forward,
back.
but he was always
Dude, we-
pushing forward.
Dude,
But
we
he
had
was
Rakitic playing right mid when he started with the Vazir.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That's
I
insane.
actually
I'll tell you
think
what, he
Brozovic
wouldn't be a
has
bad
played
player
there
for
too
us
before.
now.
Brozovic too. It's
Brozovic has actually played right wing
Brozovic,
for us
2016, guys. He was playing right wing. 2006 Euro, 2016.
unbelievable.
Crazy.
Unbelievable. Now he's pretty much a center back.
And do you remember who was starting in his position? Badel was starting in 2016.
It was Badel.
Essentially, yep.
Yeah, and
I do
before
remember
that, Vukojevic. Like it's
Crazy.
we're all over the place.
I know.
The thing, this is my frustration is we have the puzzle pieces. All Dalić does is need to do the put together the puzzle, and we haven't seen one true winger besides Perisic. But Perisic is a legend and he's coming off an injury. We haven't seen Piazza. We haven't seen Ivanušić. We haven't seen Postgame. That's
Marco, yeah.
that's a problem for me. Am I being crazy?
Okay, we've seen Brekalo. We've seen Brekalo.
No. This
Oh,
This tournament.
Here,
This
this
tournament we
tournament.
haven't seen.
Yeah.
Wow, we got a
basically have-
Brekalo mention here. We got a
Oh my
Brekalo
God.
mention. Oh my God, Brekalo here.
Hey, shout out Graninho, yeah. But yeah, okay. So now you think we play a 4-2-3-1. You have to play true wingers, or do you think there's any possibility that Dalić goes Stanisic, Gvardiol, Šutel on the back, Juranovic on the right, Perisic on the left?
No.
Modric,
No, he's not doing that. No,
Vučić,
there's
and
no
then
way.
maybe
I think 0%.
Then maybe
No,
Pulisic,
0-0.
Modric is like a false striker. Like I don't
I
see.
think
why he would try
I think he's gonna go 4-2-3-1. I think he's gonna he's been having Kram on the left. He must feel comfortable there. Budimir up top. We'll probably see Zorić on the right in place of Maier. That's what I think he's gonna do. I still
But
think he
Christian, on your point.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I still think he benches Broz, and I think he puts another midfielder centrally. That's my opinion.
What I was gonna say about Christian, your point is that 3 at back, like Dalić is so like not flexible that he won't even like. It's hard for him to deviate from a 4-3-3 to 4-2-3-1, which is like just moving one position up. Like that's all it is. There's no way he goes to 3 at the back, and I wouldn't want him to because I don't think he would know how to operate that. I don't know how he wouldn't instruct that correctly, so it's not even worth it at this point.
We call it a 4-2-3-1, but when you have a midfield of Modric, Brozovic, and Kovacic, that's still a 4-3-3. You don't have a 10.
Yeah.
Don't. So there's no flexibility there, by any means.
We'll see. We'll find out in 4 days, guys.
How many tens do we have on this squad? And we
Like
won't
14,
play.
man.
And we won't play. We have 14 tens on this team, and we won't play a 10 in the 10 role. Am I being crazy? Tell me if I'm being crazy or not.
You have Mario Pasalic, you have Martin Baturina, you have Sucic.
And
You
Maya.
have, dude, yeah, you have Maier, you have Ivanušić, Kramaric. That's what, 6 right there? Come
Go
Even
on.
Petkovic has played there for Dinamo.
Like I'm just baffled. I don't like. I love this team so much, just like you guys do. It hurt me today. The first 75 minutes of that game, it just hurt me. Like it's gut wrenching. And then that Kramaric goal goes in on his birthday. Happy birthday, Andre, 33, pride of Hoffenheim. And you're like, okay, here we go. I'm happy with the draw. And then the Sucic own goal goes in for us, 2-1. I'm like, all right, we're doing okay. I was still mad at our tactics because Broz we don't need to play 3 midfielders. I mean, we're talking tactics right now. I'm just confused. And my message to Dalić, if Dalić was sitting across the table right here, it's you have to score first against Italy. If you can't figure out a strategy to score first against Italy, your tournament's over. Figure it out.
And we play to their weakness, and it's the same weakness as ours. They don't trust their striker. They don't have that attacking force that they wish they had. They're strong in the back. They're young in the back. It's such a similar matchup, but we have the experience. And I'm telling you, I'll get into this for hours.
Listen, we can go out and lose, and that's fine. But let's attack. Let's try to score. You know, let's not just do this possession thing like you said, left, right. Never taking anybody on one-on-one. You have one shot at the end of the first half. We're not going to go through like that. Let's go shoot 5, 6, 7 times. How many goals have you guys seen on deflections in this tournament? A lot. Shoot, you're going to score. You're going to score.
You know what Croatia is doing right now? We've taken the playbook from 1999 and 2000 of Spain, where they just passed 1 million. It's like it's you pass yourself to death. I mean, that's what we're playing. We're playing, wide balls back, wide back, wide back.
We don't take shots.
Nothing with speed going forward. So we have
any of our guys hitting the ball.
Sucic will start ripping them from 30 yards out.
Sucic did well, and I think Baturina did well, but Dalić needs to put a lineup at the start of the Italy game that's going to be aggressive. Put high pressure on for 10 minutes. You can do that. If you have young legs, you could run at a team for 10 minutes. You could force mistakes. Make that happen. Do not sit back and wait for Italy to come at us. We're not going to win that way.
We have to you have to take control of the game early. That's what we have to do. We have to say, this is our game. You know, you take control and then have them running after us.
Zorić, when have we taken the game over early? Tell me.
Honestly, I don't remember the last time we like dominated a team. And I'm talking about Croatia, who have had great results. The last time I said, oh man, we just killed that team. I mean, I guess we beat Nigeria. We beat Nigeria 2-0 at that World Cup, and I thought we controlled that game.
Yep.
But it's always like, you know, what's gonna happen? It's so like, you know, even Argentina, that Argentina game, if Rebic doesn't score that volley, it was a very even game. You know, the score line looked 3-0, but that was kind of like the Spain-Croatia game. It didn't feel like 3-0.
Yep.
You know? So we don't,
And
I don't know. You just don't see us controlling games, attacking, just like, you don't feel that we're ever dominant against a team. That we, you know?
The last time I could truly think that we dominated full 90 was Poljud versus Hungary when we beat them 3-0. I think that's
Yeah. We killed them there. Yeah,
I think it's the last time we truly dominated against
that's a mediocre team, but I don't know. Listen. We have a good record against Italy. We haven't lost against them. I think psychologically, maybe that might play a little part. Saying, hey, our style is good for these guys. We can beat them. They've never beaten us. We just need to go out and do it, and that's it.
But I want to do it.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. And you guys mentioned it, like, you know, maybe Dalić having the balls. And Ante, you mentioned it, Ante Zorić, you know, of playing Modric like Ancelotti does at Real Madrid, putting him in, you know,
last 30
on for 30 minutes or something like that. Yeah. So that won't happen on the national team. I don't think that'll ever happen on the Croatian national team. As long as he's got a jersey on, he's going to start. But what you can do with him is play him exactly the way the Argentinians played Messi in this last World Cup. I mean, Messi didn't run, guys. Messi created stuff, got the ball, but you know who ran their asses off? The McAllisters of the world. He had 3 guys that were between 18 and 21 years old running their asses off around him.
Yeah.
That's what we need for Luka.
And
we never give him that support.
You can't do that. You can't do that with Brozovic on the field. You know?
Guys, Brozovic is not going to help him.
You have 2 guys.
Kovacic is not going to help him. But you know what? 18-year-olds will help him because Luka's going to say, hey, guys, go there. I'll get you the ball. Or, guys, get me the ball, and you guys run. You guys work. You know? And I don't understand why we haven't adopted that game because he is such a pearl. He is such a jewel that him on the field, just being there, Luka doesn't have to run. Luka just needs to knock balls.
Yeah,
and if you're in the right space, he'll put it on your toe.
He can still contribute. He can still
absolutely.
If we can find a role for him.
We need runners. We need guys to work off of him. You can't have two older guys with him, you know, and say that's a midfield that's going to be successful.
No,
it's not.
And back to what I think Zorić said this earlier, how this team doesn't fly for Dalić. They fly for Modric. I mean, look at Sucic, look at Baturina, look at Mayer. They used to walk out onto the Dinamo field holding his hand. He's their idol. If you're playing a game with Luka Modric, you're gonna play your A game. Imagine if you
guys, those guys, listen, those kids, and I call them kids because I'm a real old man. But those kids, by the way, Rasic, did you say how old are you now?
19.
Okay, my hat's older than you. So just so you know. So my scarf definitely is because it's from the '98 World. No, but anyway, so I mean, guys, we need to use Luka, but we need to use him the right way. You just have to be smart about it. You know, again, I'll go back to the Messi analogy. They used him perfectly. It was perfect. Messi did little sprints, 10 yards, 15 yards. You know what I mean? He got into a situation, but Messi couldn't run any one of those games for 90 minutes, but he had to be on the field because he created stuff. But other guys killed themselves for Messi. The Argentinians figured it out. In the 18 World Cup, they were dead. They had old men. In the 22 World Cup, they said, okay, we're going to keep Messi on the field, but we're going to load it up with a bunch of 18, 19, and 21-year-old guys who are going to run.
Yep. But we don't have that same mentality, unfortunately. That has to come from the top, and that you have to put together a plan. And our plan, I was shocked to see 3 CMs again in the midfield today, but it's like reading a book. It's like watching a movie you've already seen before. We know everyone knows what we're going to do.
I tell you, if that happens, and we roll out a similar lineup to that, and that happens, I will tell you this, that Dalić is gone. Absolutely gone. And actually, you know what? It won't be the HNS firing Dalić,
Give me the
Dalić
fans.
will resign right after the game. Yeah. If he rolls out that lineup and has Brozovic in, has those guys in for a half of absolutely, I mean, the Italians will kill us.
Yeah.
Absolutely kill us. You know what? Albania scored 1, the Italians will score 3 by halftime. Then the game will be over. Over.
We'll see how they do tomorrow. I mean, we're filming this before 24 hours before the Spain-Italy game, so we'll see how that goes. But I want to ask the three of you 2 questions, and then we'll get out of here. I'm just done with recycle ball. I've watched this team for 4 years now, and they just recycle. It's like playing handball. They just kind of move it around, or like basketball, they just kind of move it around the point, and then nothing happens. We just recycle. If we get a bad result on Monday against Italy at Euro, will you personally, I'm asking the 3 of you, will you personally be asking for Dalic's resignation? Pete?
Yeah.
I'm going to say at this point, yes.
Markus?
Just because, and it's not just the Italy game. It would be the entire Euro and planning for the Euro. You know, you knew. Listen, you didn't know last week that you made it to the Euro. You knew for the last 6 months you were going to be in the Euro, right? There's a whole process of planning to play these games. You know who your opponents are. That's one of the beauties of soccer is you need to go out there and work really hard, have a good scouting staff, understand that play a little bit of poker. If I'm playing scrimmage games against Portugal and whoever I'm playing against, maybe it's not the lineup I'm really going to show you in the game against Spain. You know what I mean? I'm going to change it up because you're going to see that lineup and it's going to be too easy for you. So I think if Dalić blows this up, I think he will resign on his own, but he should walk away.
Okay. Markus?
I think he should. Whether he will or not is a different story. But I was speaking about this with my dad earlier. And we both agreed that Dalić is gonna live and die by his veterans. So when Modric, Brozovic is right now, and Perisic's time comes to an end, so will his. Whether that's at the end of this Euro. I just think if he leaves after this Euro, he's gonna have to part ways with Modric. And whether he's willing to do that or not, I'm not sure. If he still thinks Modric has it for another tournament, I think he's gonna stay. But I think the moment that he comes to the conclusion that, like, all right, I can't be with Perisic, Modric, Brozovic starting, I think he would hand in his resignation before he tries to rebuild this team one more time. I think that would be it for him. And I think if we don't get a result against Italy, I think that's what we have to do. I think Modric and Perisic can still contribute heavily. I think Brozovic can contribute off the bench potentially, but I think we need a new guy, a new philosophy. I think we need to change the way we play, build a new identity, because this identity has been worn out. It's been dragged through the mud. It's been very successful, but we need something new. We need that Torino coach Ivan Juric or one of these guys to just build a new identity with the team and grow along with them. So I think if we don't get a result, I think he has to go. Whether he will or not, I think it's very 50-50.
It's a very sensitive topic, and and go ahead, Christian. We'll go to Zorić, and then I'll give you my thoughts, and then we'll close it out with Italy.
As much as my mind is telling me to agree with you guys, I'm gonna change it up here, and I'm gonna say we all thought the same thing after 18. We saw so many guys leave, so many bad results. I mean, we lost 6-0, right, to Spain.
Yep.
Got pretty slammed in the Nations League. That was not a fun tournament to watch. I mean, we had Jedvaj playing. We had Borna Barisic. It was not fun to watch. And look what he did in 2022. I mean, he brought us back to a World Cup semifinal with not really a brand new squad, but a lot of new players. I mean, similar tactics, but he made it work. I think you give him one more shot after this. I don't think he's been treated fairly based on due to his pool of players. He hasn't had a proper right winger. He hasn't been able to fix all of his players in a proper lineup. He hasn't had a chance to play with Baturin and Zorić in the midfield. He hasn't had a chance to start Marko Paslic on the right, really. All these games leading up to Europe in preparation or Nations League or etc. I think we give him one more chance because he's shown that he can turn so little into so much on the big stage. And I mean, I don't think that qualifying for World Cup 26 and, knock on wood, I don't think it should be too hard given the amount of teams that will be in the tournament. It'll be 48 teams, groups of 3.
Yeah, but remember, it always gets when they add teams, Christian, it always gets harder for Europe. Okay, so every time they've added teams, what they're trying to do is FIFA is very woke, and they're trying to globalize soccer and make sure. And you know what? It's all about countries that are, listen, we're a minority country. We're a tiny country, right? But they want to spread it out to, to Sudan. They want the Saudis of the world to be able to make it to the World Cup. They want so when they add teams, it makes the UEFA qualifying harder, because in the 98 World Cup, the top 3 teams almost from each group qualified for UEFA. In 2002, almost all the third place teams. Now you have to outright win it in your group to qualify for a World Cup.
Yeah, but they're not gonna. I think his point is they're not gonna take away spots. They're gonna add probably a couple spots to Europe. And if we can't qualify in the top 15 or whatever it is, then
we shouldn't be there.
And it's over. But you look at what he's done during rebuild stages. We were in a Nations League group with France, Austria, Denmark.
I agree.
Beat the Netherlands. I mean, we've made it out of pretty much every single group that we've been in, besides for that first Nations League group. We're only in the top advanced. And I think to sack him after one miss, with a weird mix of old and young, like right when we're on the verge of rebuilding. At the end of the day,
Christian, I'll tell you what, you're right. He deserves the respect, but Christian, with the respect comes the responsibility of being a head coach. Your job is to make hard decisions. You have to be able to look a Kobe Bryant in the eyes when he's played in the league for 18 years and say, Kobe, you know what, buddy, I love you and you've played for me, but you cannot start in this game today. Please help me off the bench. Please help me make this team successful. Please be a mentor. Please be this. Please be that. What I think Dalić needs to do, and what I think Dalić needed to do for a long time, was to look and lean on the guys that he has, the guys who are our stalwarts, right? Our foundations. I mean, like you said earlier, guys will die on the cross for Luka Modric, those young players. They all will, right? So use Luka that way. Yeah. Make Luka the motivator. Make Luka the guy that, use Luka. Have Luka tell Brozovic, hey, Brozo, you know what? You're going to help from the bench today. Yeah. You have to be able to make those decisions. I just don't think that Zlatko, I have a hard time seeing him going to Brozovic and saying, hey, you're not playing today.
I mean, he already tried it in Euro 21. Look what happened.
And I think he got somebody, I think Brozo broke his hand on the wall or something like that, punching it. But and I think he tried to do some stuff with Rebic with some discipline and that went sideways. But you have to be, if you're the coach of the national team, you're not a figurehead. You have to be there to coach. And sometimes making the hard decisions of having a guy like Brozo. Listen, I wouldn't start Brozo either, but I wouldn't be surprised if he started, because Markus said it before. He talked with his dad. I'm probably your dad's age, Markus. But here's the thing. I think Dalić will live and die with those guys. I do believe that. I believe a lot in that. Because
that's ego and that's pride before the fall.
Right, but the problem is you have to put that aside and say what's best for the team. I know, but I'm going to make a hard decision, and this is the hard decision, guys.
He doesn't know that. If you're reading, if you guys were reading the Croatian papers today, everyone wants Brozovic's head on a stick today, like he's done. So I'd be shocked if he started. But look, this is my thing. This is the tricky thing. Dalić deserves a statue in every trg in Croatia, as far as I'm concerned. What he gave us the past 7 years is magical, and I will never forget it. And thank you. And breakups are hard. Breakups are hard because you're ending it. You're ending a good thing, and there's a reason you're breaking up. It's because it's not working anymore. So look what Toni Kroos is doing at Real Madrid. He went, guys, going out on top, Champions League, La Liga, peace out. Could he play 2 more years? Yeah. But what if he has 2 shit years? Some people go out on top and some people don't. Modric is going to go till 40. I think he's going to play till the next World Cup. I think if we lose on Monday against Italy, I don't think he can go out like that for Croatia.
And it sucks because he as much as he's done for Real Madrid, he's just come so close to the top for Croatia. And I think he really, really he wants it probably more than anyone.
Yeah,
he wants it. We're talking like this. He wants it 1,000 times more than we want it. And
absolutely.
And it's unbelievable how much he cares and how much effort and how much
Hey,
patience.
hey
he's put
guys,
into the
what
game.
about this guy?
He'll never come.
Terzic.
Yeah, he'll never come.
I-
He's gonna go to a huge club, get paid millions of dollars. He's not gonna bother with our politics.
But
I
just
could see it
imagine,
eventually,
just
though.
imagine.
I could see it eventually.
Just imagine the motivation you would get from that guy.
He's a bit young, so I still think he's gonna try and test his like feet in Europe. But I could see him eventually. And hey, like he's proven it this year. He's a tournament coach. He's not a regular season coach.
That's right.
I don't know. I definitely see it.
I
do
you know
think,
what, guys? He's
Torino's
been
guy
working
is
in my
first.
head for the last like 3 months, and I'm saying to myself, you know what? If we're going to change the guard, he might be
Well,
the
we're
guy
not.
to do it.
Guys, you guys got to know that Dalić is contracted through World Cup 2026. He's
Yeah.
contracted. He would have to leave
But Dalić will walk if this is a disaster on Monday. He will walk.
only if
Hey.
Modric leaves. And I don't think he'll go out on a sour note. I
Uh-uh.
don't think so.
So
I think there's
he's
a
not like
reason.
that.
Go ahead, Christian.
He's just not like that. And I think before we jump to these assumptions, I know we're playing the what if card right now, but
Yep.
I don't know why I just have this deep rooted confidence in my heart going into this tournament that we were going to beat Italy. That Italy was going to be the best matchup for us. I think that say we beat Italy, even just 2-1, 3-2, the whole mood of Croatian football changes. I mean, Twitter's the happiest place on earth. Instagram's booming. I mean, the website's acting like we just won. I don't know. It's like our Super Bowl right there if we can advance out of this. The mood is completely different. What if Brozovic starts and has a banger game against Italy and
And
wins?
all is forgiven. Then
Everyone's gonna say, oh, Brozovic should start the rest of the tournament. But here's the thing. I still don't think he should start. I still think that if we play with full firepower, we're gonna beat the Italians. Then I think we're not even gonna be talking about Dalić yet. It's gonna be, let him ride to the World Cup. Let Luka ride to the World Cup. Last hurrah. And
Ante
then-
Fartish, I'm
Right.
taking this and we're closing this out. Your prediction for Monday.
1-1.
Who?
1-1.
Ante Zorić, your prediction for Monday.
I think 2-1 Croatia.
Markus, your prediction for Monday.
I'm gonna go against the grain. I think Dalić is gonna be stubborn. I don't think he's gonna make enough changes. I think we lose 2-1.
Christian and Markus, you're brave of saying that. I like that. Christian,
Yeah, I'm not half as brave as Marcus. I'm going 2-1 Croatia.
okay. I'm going with a 1-1 tie, guys.
One more thing, guys. I didn't get to comment on Dalić. My wife needed me for something. But I just want to say, I mean, when you look at what he's done, he's brought us to 4 tournaments, 2 World Cups, 2 medals. We've advanced in every tournament that we've gone to so far, and that can continue if we beat Italy. So I know we don't always play the most beautiful football, but the results are there, and for me, that's the most important thing. So there's some people that say, "Oh, well, I want to play this way. I want to play." I really don't care how we play as long as we win. That's why I love Dalić.
As we win, though, the results will trump the style. But if the style can't bring you results, then we have to have these tough conversations.
Listen, not advancing in one tournament in a group with Spain and Italy is not a catastrophe. That's my opinion. I would let Dalić coach as long as he wants. That's my opinion. I think he's the greatest Croatian coach that's ever coached.
Yes.
There's obviously been, greater tacticians and this and that, but I think overall, he's the best coach. I honestly think Broz's time is done. I think Perisic is done with the national team. I think we're gonna be seeing some new faces, and I think the future of Croatian football is exciting. I think the World Cup here is going to be exciting for us.
Yeah, and you.
Hey, one more thing. I know we're running a Godfather Part 2 runtime with this podcast. It's gonna be a long wait before Monday, but hey, I mean, I'm not sad yet. I'm gonna be sad when we don't qualify, if we don't qualify. But for now, hey, we've got a knockout game to play on Monday, and that's all I know.
It's a wild
we have a
card game.
final. We have a final to play. So
We're well in this. It's in our hands. What more can you ask for? We're not really depending on too many results. I mean, I could go into this whole result thing for hours. I'm not going to, but this is
guys, I don't know if you remember the '98 World Cup qualifying, but I believe we needed Denmark to tie Greece just for us to get to the playoff.
Yes.
So
I remember that.
We didn't even, guys. We did not even have our.
We didn't have our own fate in our own hands.
And we went and we finished 3rd. So we have everything in our own hands. We have to go beat Italy, and we're through. So let's see what happens.
In the most
Guys, not to not to be like bring it back to a bit more of a pessimistic view, but like, one thing we haven't mentioned at all, and I know we're running out of time, so maybe we covered on the pregame Italy one, because I think it's more like tactic talk again, but not one of us have mentioned the defense today. And I'm not to start a whole new conversation on that end, but Broz in or out, whether he's there or not, the defense today is how many changes can we make there? We're not as flexible to change there.
Listen,
and it did
hey,
not
guys,
look
I mean,
good.
Markus, you bring it up. We can go another hour on this, but guys, our defense is just bad. Let's just say it. Let's just put a blanket on it and say it's bad. You know,
5 goals in 2 games, guys. 5 goals in 2 games.
Shoot those bad. I think it's the most, that 3-0 game against Spain is the most goals we've ever allowed in a competition like this.
That was the worst loss in the
Yeah.
competition.
Yeah. And so it's bad. Let's just say it. Let's just, let's throw it out there. It's bad.
I didn't
What
bring
about it. I don't know. I'm not the coach.
I didn't bring it up because it bums me out. That's why I didn't bring it up. It's like usually when we have a shit defense, we can at least score some goals. Or if we can score some goals, at least if we can't score goals, we can at least have a good defense. It's just not working. And I'll leave you guys with this. Since 2016, we have a streak on the line. That's what I'm kind of bummed about. Since 2016, only 6 European nations have made the knockout stage of every Euro and every World Cup. We're one of 6.
Wow.
We're only one of 6. Switzerland's on there, and they're in good shape. We're on there. We got to beat Italy. Portugal's on there. Spain, France, and England. That's it.
I still can't believe we've never won a Euro knockout game. That's bizarre.
That's for another day. Like I said, we can go 8 more hours here.
Yeah,
what is it about Euro that we can't figure it out?
I mean, we had it against Turkey, right? We scored in 119th minute, and we couldn't hold that down either.
Actually, you know what, Ante? You know what? That's how I felt today. I felt like the end of the Turkey game.
Yeah.
When the goalkeeper booted that ball and it was a one-shot deal on goal, I was like, oh my God. That's how I felt today.
But hey, it could be a lot worse. If we would have lost today,
we could be out.
crying for a tie. We'd be crying for a tie.
Yeah.
Like, we still have this in our hands.
We have never been eliminated from a tournament in the first 2 games ever.
Listen, guys, listen. Let's go. Let's win this. Come on, guys. Pull up your bootstraps.
We have
Let's
to believe,
go.
guys. We have to believe.
Gotta
That's
get
it.
in the locker room and smack some people in the back of the head. Let's go. We can.
That's right.
We can do this. They just have to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, play some attackers, play some wings, play Zorić.
Zorić.
Zorić is key, guys. Zorić is key.
All right.
We've been talking about him since he was 18. He's got to start. It's his time.
Look, we're overly critical. We're Croatians, and when stuff doesn't go our way, we're gonna let you know it. But this team is magical. We all love this team. It brings us so much joy. I just brought up the 6 teams that have made every knockout since 2016 World Cup and Euro. You know who's not on that list? Germany, Italy, the Dutch, Belgium's not on that list. We've done better than all those teams with medals. There's something to be said for that.
Hey, Belgium ranked 3rd in the world. They lose their opening game 1-0. Come on, exactly. Belgium's won nothing. Belgium's done nothing. How are they ranked 3rd in the world? It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I don't know.
We win the games that don't matter. We win the games that matter. We're gonna win on Monday. Win the games.
Let's go. I like it.
Look, this team is family. Modric is a part of all of our lives. We watch this guy grow up through the ranks, through Real Madrid and everything. Like I feel like I see these guys more than like my own mom sometimes, for God's sakes, because I'm reading all the interviews and everything. But it's like we love this team. I think we're all on the same page on that. We're rough on them because we love them, and it's kind of like if you have a buddy or a brother or whatever, and you're just being rough on them. It's just tough love. So, bros, epic bros, we love you, man. But it's just some tough love. But look, love chatting with you guys. I mean, you guys make it fun for me. But I swear to God, I almost went to GoDaddy.com and just pulled the plug on Croatian Sports today because that's how bad it was.
Ante, you can't go samurai on us like that. You can't.
Kamikaze?
No, you can't go kamikaze. Yeah, you can't.
That's how bad I feel. Like we're losing 1-0 to Albania in the 70th minute. Like my mind can't even compute what's going on. That's why it's so frustrating. But all right, look, a lot to look forward to. Christian, you're Mr. Positivity around here. You said, hey, We got a knockout round match. The tournament starts on Monday against Italy. Adriatic Derby against the reigning Euro 2020 champions. Croatians have to have it hard. Here we are.
It doesn't matter how you guys get to the next round. It matters that you get there, and then the tournament really starts because it's knockout. So we need to get there.
Hey, how great would
Portugal 2016.
Yeah. 3 ties in the first round, and then you go on to win it.
Yeah.
I think Italy did the same thing in '82 World Cup, but we can go back to history. But let's see what happens. I mean, I want to see what Dalić has some real decisions to make that are gonna affect the outcome of that game. So we'll see what he's got in store.
All right, well, we'll see what happens this week. Joško Gvardiol is going back to his former club. The game's gonna be in Leipzig Monday, Italia. It's 3 p.m. Eastern. Boys, as more information comes out this weekend in press conferences, I'm sure we'll have a pregame Italy. But CroatianSports.com nation, for Pete Novakovic, Christian Rasic, Markus Lulic Deschanel, and Mr. Ante Zorić. We'll do better than next time, and we'll do better than Croatia did against Albania next time, and we'll call it. And hopefully we get a 3-0 win against Italy, and all is right again in the world.
On to the next round.